Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone. Today with my friend and teacher, David Maria. Hi, David. How are you?
Hi, Kathy. It's lovely to be here. And you know I don't like that teacher word at all. I don't like the concept of a dynamic of teacher and student. We're all just here.
Okay, well, it's fine with me. I I don't know how to explain what we're doing otherwise than a class. And that this is the first class in my whole life that I've ever taken 3 times, and am looking forward to taking it again, because it's so expansive. So, David, for people that don't know you yet, and you don't want to be called that T word, how do you explain what you do to help us all be free and really know about the truth of who we are?
Well, like many people on the planet, I have remembered who I am, and energetically, vibrationally, just through who I am, I'm able to communicate or share that with others. Energetically, in the context of a class, my field in the context of the class becomes so big that it literally pushes the fields of the people that are participating in the class and opens them up momentarily so that they can experience or feel something bigger than they've been able to feel before. That's a really simplistic answer. It's way bigger than that, but it's probably the closest that I can come to describing the mechanics or the physics of it. But really and truly what it is that my heart is so big that it helps open the hearts of everybody that attends classes.
That's perfect. So we've had these conversations before, and for those of you that don't know about David's awakening story, please go and listen on my YouTube channel under Conscious Business Zone, search for David Maria and listen, because you'll hear the amazing synchronicities and challenges and changes that David went through to experience the truth of who he is and then guide us to our truth. So, David, we have the class that I'm referring to is the Freedom from the Known class, which is broken into 10 modules and then an 11th meeting. Do you want to talk a little bit about that journey that people have, or about the construct of the class, and then we'll ask some of the past participants to share.
So the construct of the class is that it's all stems from one thing, and that each and every one of us is source. We're not connected to source. We're not a part of source. We are source. And it doesn't matter what word you use. Like in the North American native traditions, they often use the word grandfather. There are so many words that are used to describe that, whether it's God or whatever word you wish to use. But it's an attempt to put a word around something that cannot be described. It's completely ineffable. It's not possible to use your mind to be able to understand it, to wrap your head around it. If you were, you can only surrender and become it. And that is the true state of every single person on the planet, that we are all source. We're not a drop in the ocean. We're the ocean in the drop that is the fractal that is us. And so the course is put together as a way to help people shed the layers of conditioning that have overlaid all of us. It's in every one of us, myself included, and be able to then have that direct connection themselves and remember truly who they are. So it walks kind of through a series of steps to where we activate and help you remember something at a core. We open up your energy field, and then we go through necessary clearings. Like we remove the fear body, which is just an artificial overlay of fear that is put into everybody that's part of this culture, part of this world, the culture of this world. Doesn't matter whether that's fear from a familial context or a cultural or a national, it's all the same. We also remove anything surrounding lack, and then we continue to go through a cleansing cycle of cleansing and activating, gradually expanding our consciousness to the point to where we truly begin to remember who we are. And this is not something that is unusual. We all go through these phases, whether it's in the context of a class shared with me or with somebody else, it doesn't matter. Everybody walks through this. And in essence, it's a shamanic journey. And in most shamanic traditions, they understand that any point on the journey can happen at any time. So I've had people come to the classes that have experienced the very last class first and the first class last. It doesn't really matter how you walk through it, but basically it's a 10-week course put together to help you realize and remember who you are, and just let all of the layers that no longer serve you just fall away.
I love that. That helps explain it. I want to let the audience know my personal experience. It was not as violent as most shamanic trainings. This is a very loving, peaceful, almost divine experience where you experience whatever you are ready to experience. That's why I've taken it so many times, is each time I'm going deeper, and the whole group dynamic, I think everyone will tell you that they've gone deeper. So when a lot of people have had very highly physical somatic experiences with shamanism. And so I just want to make sure people understand how gentle and loving and kind this is. It's a gift you would give yourself.
Yeah, you're not going to, if you attend the class, you're not going to be asked to fast in the wilderness for 40 days.
Yeah, because there would be a lot of dropouts all of a sudden. So,
Or,
David, when we open the class, you invite in others, the unseen ones, the people that are future participants. You invite a series of beings into our circle in each class. Do you want to speak a little bit to that so people understand that they may already be in the circle and they just have to do it in 3D now?
it's not so much that I invite them, Kathy. It's just that I notice that they're present.
Oh.
So we are here in the body, we are physical beings, but we are also non-physical, energetic beings on many, many levels, many planes, many dimensions, and even greater. And there are always more realized beings than I am that show up to be of assistance to everybody while going through each one of the classes. And it's only in this class that future students have begun to show up, people that have not attended one recently. And I've noticed that they're there, and I don't know them.
Well, I'm hoping that they'll hear this.
I don't have a memory of knowing them. There have been many people before the last class, not this one, that I was appearing to all around the world and telling them that they're ready. I didn't have a memory of that, but they did. And they contacted me to talk about it. And some of them came to the class. So it's the feeling connection is out there most definitely. And if you're one of those people that is feeling it and you know you're ready, then you're ready.
The other thing I want to share is that this experience that we do in these classes is not like a guru's entering, well, in the past, gurus would open up their light body and the whole room would go into samadhi, and they would have this energetic experience that that would be almost like a psychedelic experience, but then they couldn't maintain it. Maybe days later, they would have almost depression because their body wasn't ready to hold that much light. And this process is very different than that, although the outcome may end up being even greater, because as David leads you through these clearings and these releases of things that are not truly yours, you become, your physical vessel can hold more of your soul essence. And so it's not a high and crash and burn. This is this steady capability to hold more light. Would you agree?
I would agree. And most of us know the time of gurus is past. If there's 8 billion plus people on the planet, that's how many gurus are on the planet, because we are all our own individual gurus. And we just share with each other.
Yes, yes. Well, I think the remembering time is upon us.
Most definitely.
And this is one of the best ways I've found to remember and go deep as I'm ready. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. It sounds like a Hallmark card, but anyway.
It's a cosmic Hallmark card.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before I start bringing people in, David, that I forgot to mention?
Probably that these classes are really fun. They're definitely challenging. There's no question about it. They will challenge you at every turn, but it's a challenge that we need to be able to feel and look at, because it takes us beyond our stuff. So it has been described, and I agree with this. Many times it's been described that the energies that are here now, what is present, this is the entrance into the next epoch, into the age of Aquarius. And we can't take any of our old stuff, any of our old patterns, any of our old ways of thinking or whatever. We can't take them into that. So this is a moment of transfiguration, of a complete and total transformation of who we are, coming from releasing everything that's within us that is just, it's like this is the time to do a very thorough house cleaning and get it really spiffy. And we're in the middle of it.
Well, the other thing I want everyone to know is that when David mentioned about releasing the pain body and the fear body, I think that's a big, releasing fear is a big part of the benefit of doing this work, because we have these constructs that we aren't showing up fully in our lives, in the world, because of fear, or I call it programming, conditioning, whatever you want to call it.
All those words apply.
Right. So, at this point in time, we came here, stood in line to get these bodies to be here right now. So this is showtime, so that we want to have our superpowers and all of our capabilities that we can available to turn this boat around. Right?
Well, you know my feelings on asking for superpowers. Or superpowers.
That's what I want.
It's just don't ask for them. If they're yours, they will be there.
Okay.
You don't have to push that envelope. Just let them come, or the gifts that you carry. Just let them come forth when they're ready.
So, but what my comment I was trying to explain about the fearlessness, because that is what is unfolding. We're capable of sharing our genius in a much bigger way when we release all of these patterns that may have been lovingly bestowed upon us by our family or our society, because they thought that's what they knew. But now is the time to really get to the core of it.
When you feel into it and you really and truly come to know who you are, that you are creation itself, and you look at the immensity of just this universe alone, look at the creative force that flows through everything. It's phenomenal. What would you ever need to fear? It's not, there is nothing here to be able to be afraid of. Even death is not something. Death is something to actually, in that moment, to be separated, or sorry, to be celebrated when we finally go back into non-physical.
Right. And I love all of that stuff. So I love all the near-death experience and spiritually transformative experience.
Everybody here is an eternal, and everybody on the planet is an eternal being. Yeah. We're just here to look. This is school, and we're here to learn. We're learn how to master energy, and to learn how to live in our bodies, not to run off again, but to stay here and live in our bodies as a master of energy, as a master being themselves. That's what the class is.
Yes, many of the highly proficient healers and energy workers and guides are barely in their physical body. Many of them thought that it was safer to be out, and now is a time where we embody. It's almost a soul body fusion, that this work allows you to be fully embodied on this earth.
Lots of people on the planet feel they don't want to be here, and so they're not in their bodies a lot. They want to go home, but you came here for a reason. You didn't come here just to, I'm sorry, hi, and then leave. You came here to be in your body. You came here to raise the frequency, the vibration of your physical body by clearing it of all of the unnatural and artificial energetic overlays on top of it. And then let your soul, once the frequency of your body rises, your soul can come into it. So now you are living embodied in flesh, in the physical. And understanding that the physical is also an energetic body, it just happens to be more solid than the rest of them.
Yes. And this is a path to a whole different perspective of what truth is. So for people that are ready, because this is the truth of it, that what we're learning from our exposure to these lessons in your Freedom from the Known class are the truth of who we really are and how to step into it.
And it's important to know that this is not my truth.
Right.
I don't espouse that at all.
Oh, really? Okay. So
it's just each one of us becomes completely and totally self-empowered. We remember who we are, and at that level, we don't need teachers anymore. We just have friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes we call our friends because it's easier for them to see things within us than it is for us to see things within us.
Right.
I still do it and love that part of the process. It reminds us that we're all not alone, that we're here with everybody else.
Well, let me explain that too. The one thing that you'll find about David during this class, if you're so lucky as you get to experience it, is that David goes into an expanded state, and his unexpanded state of David, Maria, also benefits from the meditation as well, correct?
No, I go through the meditations along with everybody else.
Right, that's what I mean. So that's what I'm saying, is that you may share your journey, your changes with us. You're very humble, let's put it that way, compared to most of the teachers I've worked with.
Well, thank you, Kathy. I just see myself as me. I just feel myself as me. Yeah. There's nothing to be proud about. There's nothing special. There's really and truly nothing special about me or the journey that I've been on, except in context that everybody is on that same journey. It just looks different.
Ah, perfect.
Your journey is the same as my journey. It just has the context of what your life has been.
Right, right. Okay. Well, I was trying to explain for the participant that that you're right alongside us as we go through these processes, benefiting as well. That's what I meant. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that wonderful quote by Ram Dass. We're all just walking each other home.
Yes. Perfect. Well, now let's go ahead, since I think the best way for people to actually understand about this class is we are very, very lucky that we have 3 participants here with us today. Let me unmute everybody. And let's see, I guess I have to ask you to. Oh, good. Thanks, Lynette. Can you unmute also? Thank you. Okay, and Cara, there you go.
And you have 4 participants who are also my very dear friends.
So where do we want to start? Cara, do you want to start since you're off continent? No, you scared? So card, no? Oh, okay. So Bill, do you want to start then explaining about your experience taking the class?
Well, this is the 4th time I've taken the class. So I'm ahead of you by 1, Kathy. And I have to say that what Kathy has been sharing has been absolutely true. I've taken it 4 times because I've experienced each time the incredible expansion and depth of how the energetic work reaches me and opens me up. And it's not that every one of the classes has been exactly the same. The classes themselves have evolved, even though it's theme A or theme B or theme C. Every one of those sessions has expanded and evolved, etc. And the effect it's had for me has been, I think, to peel away what I'm going to call the lingering doubt that I've had about my own power. Okay, it's not that I'm walking around in fear, but I may be, okay, or these kinds of things. It's that I doubt that I have the energetic interdimensional gifts that I have. And consequently, I've played smaller. Okay, I've played a smaller role in my life than I am now playing. And as I expand and expand and expand, the attractor factor gets greater and greater. I open more and more of the work I do is deeper and deeper and more significant. Okay. And more people are being attracted to it. So it's like a multiplier effect. And I'm planning to take the course again because I know there's more and I am beginning to own it. And the owning it and being able to then manifest it, because it is in what the body manifests and projects. That's where the gift is. Okay. And I mean, I've done a ton of other work prior to David's work. It's never, but that work has never reached as deep as this work reaches. And it has never had the expansive effect for me, the beneficial, enormous manifestation effect that this work has had. So I'm profoundly grateful.
So, Bill, I've watched you change during all of these classes because I've been working with you. And how would you say each class has differed? That I want people to understand that there could be a deepening for them if they would like that.
Well, yes. I mean, the more open you are, the more willing you are to really surrender to the work and resonate with David's wonderful mannerism of just how he projects the energy itself in every case. Okay. The first class we have, it has evolved. I mean, things in it have changed. And as those have changed, okay, it just seems that I'm more ready to go with that change and the impact of the change. It's not something I anticipate. The impact of the change just reaches deeper. Well, that has happened with each of the classes, which are designed, okay, to, as it were, peel away more and more things. And I have to say that now I'm able to reach out like I have never reached out in a coherent way to bring that back in and have it be real.
Perfect.
I think that's the best words I can put it.
Oh,
Put it.
excellent.
So the deeper you go, the more you can expand. I mean, for me, that's the lesson. And as the 10 weeks unfold, okay, it just opens the pathway for that to happen.
Perfect. Thank you. That was beautifully said.
Can I comment on that, Kathy?
Yes, please.
The classes are not something that I have designed. The classes are transmissions that have come to me, sometimes through dreams, sometimes in the waking state, sometimes in a vision. And what has happened in the evolvement of the classes over time is that aspect of it being a transmission that is in the moment is now fully coming into each one of the classes. And yes, there may be a structure, a skeleton, or a framework that has been there for a while, but once the transmission starts, I really and truly, I have no idea what I'm going to say. I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth. It begins to just flow through. And in most cases, what is going on is that the group itself, once a class starts, the group forms a cohesive unit. And this has been my feeling all along, is that their desire, the group's collective desire to go farther than they have before, is what pulls the individual transmissions through in the moment. There are times that I have started one of the meditations and I've known in advance exactly, or at least I thought I knew exactly what I was going to do. And then all of a sudden started speaking, and that little voice in my head going, really? That's what I'm going to say? It's almost as if it's a surprise to me as it is to everybody else, because I'm hearing it for the first time.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. So who wants to go next?
Well, I can relate to what you just said, David, because I do guided meditations and they're exactly like that. I don't know what's going to happen until I show up.
Yeah.
And I've been through, years of training as you have to learn how to go with the flow and to listen to the guidance. And I thought I would bring an example because sometimes examples can really help make it a little more concrete. Last year during the class, I had gone to Puerto Vallarta and I got quite ill there and I had an abscess tooth. And it was not only abscessed on the inside and the outside, it was, wanting to come out, and I was just determined that I was not going to lose this tooth. And I had used oils and herbals and all kinds of things, and even broken down and gotten antibiotics and started taking that. And I came back and I said, oh, I have to do the class that I missed. So I'm listening to the class on a recording. This is not live. And the clearing that you were having us do was from top down or bottom up. I don't remember which, but it was a clearing going through the physical body. And we got to the jaw, and I tuned into the jaw and I felt like there was glass in my jaw. And David said on the recording, and someone in the group is going to experience glass in their jaw. And I was like, really? Okay. So I tuned into the glass, and he's guiding and taking me into the memory of standing next to my mother at a ironing board. And I called my brother a little fart. And I didn't know that she considered that a bad word. And she backhanded me with her wedding rings right across my mouth. And that memory came up so clearly. And I'm like, oh, I need to clear that. And I thought, okay, I'm going to ask Saint Germain to bring a vacuum cleaner to clean this glass out. And David said, you might consider a vacuum cleaner for that glass. I was just like, how does he get this so right on a totally different day in a totally different place? So Saint Germain pulled the vacuum out and he vacuumed out the glass shards, the energetic glass shards in my mouth. And I realized that I had dealt with it on a physical level, but I had never dealt with it on the emotional level. So this was a deep set of emotions coming up that I had to clear out. And the good news is that I still have the tooth, the abscess is completely gone, and that my teeth are doing way better. So that's a very concrete example of the kind of experience you can go through during one of the meditations. And it doesn't matter if you're in the class in person or if you're listening to the recording, it works just as well.
Perfect.
So thank you, David, for my teeth.
You're so welcome. It's nice to have your smile.
Well, I think that's an important conversation to also have about the recordings, because after each class, you also are gifted with the recording of the class, and you can do the same process over and over again and go as deep as you want. And as Linnea just shared, it holds all the frequencies inside the recording, which is quite remarkable.
And if you miss a class, you can make it up. It's not like you're out just because you missed a class.
So it is a full process, and it's not uncommon that even with people attending the class, that they will go to sleep during the class. They're just taken out.
Yeah.
And they don't hear or remember a thing until it reaches the end of the meditation, where I start encouraging people to begin to come back, et cetera, et cetera. And it's always beneficial to be able to listen to each one of the classes multiple times, whatever each individual is guided to do. So
Perfect. So Cara, you ready to share?
Yes.
Yay.
I want to say that it's such an incredible, beautiful journey. It's quite expansive, but at the same time, it's bringing you back to yourself, knowing yourself. So it's happening in the same time. During the expansiveness, you get to know yourself. And it's brought me so much, brought me to recognize who I am, to truly know who I am and what my mission is in this life. I have no words for it. It's a very warm class. David is very, how do you say? It feels like a loving bath to be in with David and the group. You are being carried by everyone. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So Cara, how many times have you taken this class?
I've taken it 3 times now, and it's because every time you're getting deeper. It's like the onion. You peel all the layers, and also if it's in one aspect, the next time maybe you get the same aspect, but another layer that is beneath it. So yeah, it's like a beautiful journey, recovering our, how do you say, finding your true self.
Perfect. So the other question I have for you is, have you found that this has helped you with your healing business?
Yes, I can share that when I was growing and my frequency is getting higher, when I work with other people's, they also experience much more expansiveness and healing. So it's like a gift that it flows from David through us and through us through other people. It's like a never-ending flowing energy that you share with others. Yeah.
Yes.
can I comment on that?
Yes, please.
Cara?
Yeah.
It's not that it's an energy that flows through me and then to you, through you and to others. It's that gradually we begin to understand that we are our own authority, and it's your energy, it's you, it's who you are.
Mhm.
It just eventually you recover the full memory of who you are, and from that moment forward, whoever you meet, you're energetically, vibrationally, frequently communicating with every single person that you meet. And when you're working at that level, everybody that you meet is a perfect fractal of the creator. And so you see them in that way. You feel them in that way. Even if it's a person checking you out at a grocery store, you give them a burst of that energy from your heart, and the consciousness that comes through us all. And whether they consciously know it or not, they receive it. If they do are conscious of it, that's all the better. And if not, it's just planting seeds, like just planting seeds in a garden. And when it's time, those seeds will sprout.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like the tuning fork.
Yes.
You walk around like a tuning fork. The vibration is getting out through other people's, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And everybody here, everybody participating in this call right now is a master teacher in their own right, a master healer in their own right. We all have destinies that we came here to fulfill. We all have gifts that we have brought. There's no separation between any of us. We just have slightly different things that pull us in magnetically in some direction. So it's just wonderful to watch everybody opening and remembering.
They are showing me the diamonds with all the facets, and that's my experience through this course. It's like when you have a diamond with all the facets, and they are, some of them are clean and the light is shining through, and some of them are a bit dark or gray. You need to clean them up. It's like every time you do the course, there are more of the facets that are getting cleansed, and the light is getting through and shine more and more brightly. So
That's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
thank
I'd
you.
like to, I'd like to add to that, if I may, that the, I didn't realize how deep the conditioning that we all experience here in 3D, how deeply that is embodied and entrenched in us, and how many layers of that and how many different aspects of it need to be cleared, peeled away, dissolved, what released, whatever words you want to use, to get down to kind of the core essence of who I am and who we are. And I think we talk about, and there's a way of hearing this, I think. Well, we've all been in this class multiple times. Well, then the class must not work very well because you're all having to come back and do it multiple times. Okay, it's like, well, gee whiz, what a racket that is. Well, I can assure you that the gift is coming back and pulling away and dissolving and releasing this incredible conditioning. I mean, I'm still working on it, believe me, and this is time 4, but that's how deep it was for me. And it's going to be however it is for each person. But it offers the gift, okay, of just going deeper, and really capturing, okay, this deeper essence that we all possess. That I never believed this. I never believed, okay, I was locked into what people call the separation paradigm. God, source, divinity, higher vibrations, higher beings, everything was out there. And then I was just down here, okay? And it's like, oh my goodness, the connection, the attunement, okay? The assimilation of that now is so much greater. And boy, does life work better. I mean, things flow in that you've just never anticipated.
That's so perfect, Bill, because really and truly, there is nothing that is out there. It's all, everything is inside of us. It's not out there.
And that's not how we're conditioned, is the point. Okay. People say we're conditioned to play small. We're conditioned to think that isn't true of us, David. And you've revealed that. You've really helped me. And I know the other people in the class experience more and more and more of that.
It's like Cara said, we're just like an onion. We're just peeling the various layers back.
Yep.
And we're not always ready to release certain things,
Yeah.
We have to release one thing before another. And that's one of the reasons to retake the class, because you go through the class and you release all kinds of things. But then for the next class, you're ready for a new level. And as Bill and Kara have both said, you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And Kathy also has expressed that. So it is going to bring you what you need at the moment. And then the next class will bring you what you're ready for in the next moment.
We don't grow in a circle, we grow in a spiral.
Right.
And I
So,
love the phrase facilitator rather than teacher.
thank you.
That's good.
That's a lovely word. I appreciate it.
Yes. So I want to also say that I've found, because of what I do for my livelihood and for who I am in the world, this is a gift I'm giving myself that I have not given myself before. This time to make sure that I have time to do the class and then process time afterwards, it's on my schedule. And up until now, I would have been doing something for somebody else during that time, or busy work or
Mhm.
whatever. So that's another thing. If you're finally ready to love yourself enough to experience who you are and to go deep into the gift that you are, and be prepared to step up in a very grounded way into your reality. This gift is something waiting for you to unpack.
Absolutely. Well said, Kathy.
So,
Can I add something, Kathy?
of course.
So we all know that we are a soul, and that as an individual soul, we are a part of a much larger group of souls. But at our essence, inside of us, when you reach the place, and we actually do this in the course, when you reach the place to where you can open your soul, just as if it's an onion with layers, and you can go inside, what is there is the very spark of the divinity. And it's not just something that is separate or outside of yourself, it is the very essence of who you are. And that spark is in every single piece of life. I don't care what it is, in the universe, in the multiverses, in all of the dimensions. It's here in every human being, every animal, every plant, the earth itself. It is present. And it is, I promise everybody that's listening to this, it is possible to tune into that and let that come forth and shine from your heart, because the very essence of that is that it is pure love.
Perfect. Perfect. I wanted to ask Linnea if she has experienced more openings and different engagements with your clients, as well as a healer and a guide.
I was afraid you were going to ask me that question, Kathy. I don't think there's a simple answer to it. I am engaged in a number of other classes, meditations, etc. I'm living on Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta itself is having a powerful effect on me. Even before I met David, Mount Shasta is having an even more powerful effect on me this week. It seems to have really ramped up with Lionsgate, and all the energies coming in. It's hard to attribute to which one of those things. And I think that that may be true for a lot of people who come to take this class, is that you have lots of other things going on in your life as well. But this class is a place to come to for support and a community. As the class goes on, the strength of the community grows more and more, and over a number of classes, the strength of the community grows. It's a wonderful place to nurture your soul, and when you have nurtured yourself, you always have more to give. My clients also are responding to the energies currently. The energies are there just pushing us to grow, to our maximum potential. And I have clients who have been spinning their wheels for 2 years who have just all of a sudden gone to where they want to go. And David's class is certainly a part of that, but there are many factors playing into that as well. I think that's a fairly complete answer.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I think once you get to the core of yourself, you're able to show up fully in every aspect, and then things flow. It changes how you engage with your reality.
Absolutely. That's so true. And anything that helps you with that is precious.
Yes. Anything to say, David?
If you're watching this video and you are resonating with what you're hearing, if you're feeling this deep in your body, that this is something that you are feeling a pull to, then that's exactly what's happening. You're feeling a pull to participate. All of us, I don't know who's coming to the next class, but all of us are looking forward to being with you and sharing with you.
And how should they find out about this class? Because right now we're talking about one coming up, but they might watch this a year from now. So
That's true. That's true. I wasn't feeling it in that context. So there is the next Freedom from the Known is beginning September 10th. And that's 2022, in case you're viewing this next year. There will be other classes. There will always be something. You can visit my website, which is just theedentemplate.com. There's always information on current classes that are available. Towards the end of October, I'm going to be in Boulder with Kathy. Kathy is sponsoring me to come, and I'm going to offer probably 4 or 5 classes over the course of a weekend, depending upon how many people wish to participate in, and they will be both online and in person. So, and what is coming for the future, I have no idea. I just know that this work has taken me over, shall we say, and it is basically, it's not basically, it's all that I do. That's the reason that I'm here, is to be able to share, and I'm looking forward to doing that more.
well, I want to offer this as a opportunity to the people that follow Conscious Business Zone to know that this will help this class, Freedom from the Known, and even if you take and you sign up for one session with David, you'll know right away about the energy and about the capacity that it will awaken in you to serve and do everything in your life in a much more peaceful and loving way that is loving to you and everyone else. So that's why I can't recommend this enough. I again have taken it 3 times. I've never taken a class 3 times. And I guess I shouldn't call it even a class. I've taken the journey 3 times. And I'm looking forward to taking the journey again, because this really is the journey to your heart and your soul and to higher consciousness. So David, again, the best way to reach you is?
You can always go to my website, which is just theedentemplate.com. And I'm trusting that as part of the final video, Kathy will put some writing there so
Yes.
that it's very clear. You can also find me on Facebook if you wish. I'm not every place in the universe in terms of social media. Facebook seems to be more than enough right now. So whoever you are, wherever you are, you are already felt. You've already been making your presence known in this current class. And so I look forward to meeting you in person at some point.
Thank you. So again, thank you, everyone. Let's unmute everyone. Thank you all
Oh my
for
goodness, yes.
coming today. Thank you.
Linnea, Bill, and Cara, especially Cara, because she's in Europe. It's late the evening there. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. And I told everybody the time was wrong, so people were waiting to start an hour earlier.
Oh,
That's on me. So, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it very much. It's such a pleasure.
yes. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
David. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your light.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.